Aries, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Aries love reading. Today we are going to take a look at your romantic person of interest here in June 2024, and we're going to look at how do they really feel about you, what they're thinking about you, and what their intentions are toward you as we move through the rest of June and beyond. But you know how people are, what they say they're going to do, what they intend to do, what they actually end up doing don't always match. So I'm also going to look at what this person's most likely actions are going to be toward you in this connection as we move through the rest of June 2024 and beyond. Then I'm going to get you some advice from the universe on how to best navigate the situation you find yourself in with this person, kind of what you should or shouldn't do, how you should play things so they work out in the way that's best for you and your own greatest good. So let's take a look at this person. What's going on with Aries romantic person of interest in June 2024? How do they really feel about Aries here in June 2024, please? Let's get one more. How do they really feel about Aries? Okay, that was pretty easy. Let's see here. On the bottom of the deck, underlying their feelings about you, Aries, Queen of Cups. This is Cancer energy. This would represent that they feel like they get a lot of love and emotions from you. The Queen of Cups is the only character that has a lid on her cup, and she does that as a way to protect her emotions from getting contaminated. She's been hurt before. She doesn't really want to get hurt again. She doesn't want to let anything get in her emotions and mess her up. So she's kind of guarded here. But what she really wants to do is take this lid off of her cup and pour her love into someone. She's just a little hesitant to do that. So they could be viewing you as someone they get a lot of love and emotions from. They could be viewing you as someone that they have a lot of love and emotions for. Possibly feeling a little bit of the guardedness here, though. I have the Empress right behind that. This is the mother of the tarot deck. In a relationship reading, she represents the birth of something new. She's perpetually pregnant, so she's always giving birth. So this is usually the birth of a new relationship. Could be feeling it for you here and wanting to birth a new connection with you. Sometimes she can represent the rebirth of a connection after something has gone a little bit wrong. I do see a little bit of guardedness here, a little hesitation here. Could be trying to rebirth this. Whether this is them trying to rebirth the connection with you or begin a new connection with you, I still have this Knight of Cups in the background of that. Knights are action takers, so this is actions toward love and emotions, trying to move forward with romantic offers, romantic gestures, advance a cup of love, advance a love connection in some way here, taking actions on that. Do have a card of forward movement, successful forward movement with this Leo energy of the Six of Wands behind that. This is recognition, and the thing being recognized allows forward movement to happen, like successful forward movement. So it's looking good under the surface of what they're feeling for you. When I look at their actual feelings for you, Aries, I get the Three of Wands, the Six of Cups, and the Two of Cups. The Three of Wands is Aries energy. This is an energy of being at the beginning stages of manifesting something. The card that comes before this, the Two of Wands, it's that fork in the road. It's that decision point about what do I really want for my life? What do I want my world to be like? And which of these two paths is going to get me to that? And which path do I leave behind? Well, in the Three of Wands energy that they're feeling, they've already made the choice about what it is that they want. They've already started down the path. They've started taking actions to get the thing that they want, and they have this positive expectancy that the thing that they want is going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. So this is an energy of kind of like waiting on it to happen, waiting on it to kind of pan out here. Central to their feelings for you, we have the Six of Cups. This is Scorpio energy of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the good old days and the way things used to be between the two of you. It represents a deep emotional connection. It represents that there's probably history between the two of you. And it can sometimes represent something from the past coming back up again, or someone from the past coming back up. We may have already been down this path before with them, and this could be an energy of them waiting to get the past person back, you in this case, or waiting to like rebirth this connection with this person they have a very deep emotional connection with. Final card in their feelings for you, Aries, is the Two of Cups. This is more Cancer energy. This is a definite connection between the two of you. It's an emotional connection here. Sometimes this way it's a two, so twos are choices. So this is a choice about the connection between the two of you. Sometimes it can represent a choice between lovers here. I don't necessarily feel that yet, although it's kind of hard to tell whether this is talking about birthing new connection with someone they already know and they're waiting on that to happen, or rebirthing a connection with you. So hopefully this will become more clear as we go along. Let's take a look at what this person is thinking about you here in June. What is this person thinking about? Okay, we got a lot of thoughts apparently here. So let's see what we have. I don't read reversals, so you probably just saw me flip a couple of those right side up. I just do that and don't even really notice it most of the time. The only time I do notice it is when I'm not supposed to turn it right side up, and then I get that sensation like I'm touching my tongue to a 9-volt battery. It's like a jolt, and that lets me know not to, but that didn't happen there. Underlying their thinking about you, Aries, I have the Aries Major Arcana card, the Emperor. This is an energy of taking control, taking charge of a situation. This is a master manifester in the sense of it's someone who has all the tools, abilities, and resources to put together a plan to get what they want and then execute that plan to get what they want. Taking control of something here. Sometimes that's a really positive energy. Sometimes it can go a little bit too far and be controlling instead of in control. It can be overbearing. This is usually the person who's calling the shots here. They're making the rules. They're setting the boundaries. They could be thinking of you in that sense. It's starting to look like maybe they did something that caused an ending between the two of you and they're trying to come back at this point. Yeah. Looks like you are sitting firmly in front of this 10 of Cups. This is Pisces energy. This is the happily ever after that we all want. That happy fairy tale love connection, happy fairy tale romance where it's reciprocated and they're pouring themselves into you and you're pouring yourself into them, and it's both of you fully happy, fully together, fully in love. This is a card that probably gets more people in trouble than any other card in the tarot deck, though, and it's because of that happy fairy tale component. We all want this so badly that a lot of times we'll delude ourselves and we'll try to convince ourselves that this is the 10 of Cups that I've always dreamed of. This is that happy fairy tale romance we've always dreamed of here. I get this card for one of two reasons. Either A, it is telling me that this is that happily ever after, it's the real true love, or B, it's that diluted version of it where people are like sweeping stuff under the rug and pretending like things didn't happen and ignoring red flags because they're desperate to believe in this. And it's really not the 10 of Cups. So hard to tell at this point which it is, but looks like they're viewing you as the person being in control of their happily ever after. Right behind that, I got the 3 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy of teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something of value. Typically, this is laying the foundations for the 10 of Pentacles, which is, the physical version of this emotional 10 of Cups. It would be combining together lives, building a life together, living together, getting married, things like that, laying the foundations of that. So either they're trying to take control of this situation because they believe this is the 10 of Cups with you and they're trying to work together to build something with you, or they're viewing you as the one being in control of whether or not this can happen. What's actually out here in their thinking about you, Aries, I get the Magician, the Lovers, the Ace of Swords, and the 9 of Swords. I will say, like in the past several of these readings that I've done, I'm ending up getting like in their feelings, I'm expecting to see cups, and I usually have been getting swords here. And when I get to their thoughts, I'm expecting to see some swords, and I've been getting a lot of feelings here. And in those readings, the person has been kind of wired backwards. Here, I'm getting it the way it should be. I'm getting cups for emotions in their feelings, and I'm getting swords for thoughts in their thinking. So this person seems to be wired correctly here. I'm hoping this is a new person for you coming in. I don't really remember the readings. Once I get up from the table, they start to fade away. Like when you have a dream and you get out of bed and start moving around, the dream fades away. So I never really remember the readings more than 10 minutes or so after I'm done with them. But if I remember correctly, it's been a minute since I've gotten a positive reading for you here where things have been going right. This one is looking like we might have maybe a new connection with someone that you already have some history with. It doesn't necessarily mean you were with them before, although it could be that. But this is looking a little more positive than I was expecting, which is awesome. First card here in their thinking about you, Aries, is the Magician. This is the Mac Daddy, master manifester of the tarot deck. It's someone who's got all the tools and resources to create the world around them to be any way they want it to be, the way their will desires it to be. They've got all 4 aces on the table in front of them. The aces are the ones of the 4 suits, 11, 11. So the number of manifesting here. So this usually means that this person is actively trying to manifest something with you. And I don't know if they're trying to take control to get to this 10 of Cups, or if they're viewing you as the person who's going to call the shots on whether or not this 10 of Cups can happen. I do have the Lovers here in their thinking. So this is the Gemini Major Arcana card. This is them thinking that this connection is a very powerful connection. A long time ago, this card used to be called the Choice. So it represents a choice in a powerful connection, or sometimes a choice between more than one lover. We've got the Minor Arcana version here in their feelings, which is the 2 of Cups, which can also represent a choice about this connection, or a choice between 2 different cups of love. I don't know if there's a choice like that or not. It's possible. I mean, it's possible that that's the case, but it's feeling more positive. So I got the Ace of Swords next, which is the sword of victory. It's the sword of truth. It's the sword of clarity. It's the sword you make decisions with. Like the word decision, the Latin word that decision comes from, literally means to cut off. So it's to cut off the other options. If there is a choice looks like it's getting made by this person here, or they could be viewing you as the one who needs to make the choice. But again, this card, the sword you decide with, is tied to the choice. It's also tied to a 2, which is also a choice. So maybe they're thinking that you're the one that has to make the choice, and I think that's probably it, because the 9 of Swords is the final card in their thinking, and this is Gemini energy of fear, worry, anxiety, thinking about something over and over again with all this fear and worry behind their thinking, and doing that to the point that it becomes physically stressful. This kind of fear and worry typically starts to manifest as physical stress, or sleepless nights, or nightmares, or I can't concentrate on what I'm doing, I can't eat. The person has their eyes covered. In their mind, it's like so bad that I don't want to face this. I don't want to look at what choice you're going to make. I can't tell if this person is trying to stand in their power and make a choice and they're worried about it, or more likely they're probably viewing you as the one that is in control of manifesting whether this love connection is going to happen or not. And you're the one that's kind of setting the boundaries and the rules here. Let's take a look at what their intentions are toward you here in June 2024. What are this person's intentions? Okay. Come hither. Underlying their intentions, Knight of Cups. Again, actions toward love and emotions, wanting to move forward, intending to move forward and advance this cup of love with you, moving in your direction. Yeah, 2 cards in a row of forward movement. The 6 of Wands is behind that, Leo energy. Recognition. This is them recognizing something, and whatever's being recognized is allowing forward movement to happen, successful forward movement to happen. And then things are escalating in the wand sense here. The passion, the desire, the determination, the attraction. We're going from the 6 to the 7, which is more Leo energy. This is an energy of like defending their position on something, defending their stance on something, being willing to fight to protect something that's important to them, fight for something they have a lot of passion and desire for, fight for something that they want, maybe even fight for this connection. It's also entirely possible that they're intending to move forward toward you, but also expecting you to be somewhat defensive and try to defend against these external energies that are coming at you here. I can't shake the feeling that something has happened. Either you're guarded because of something from your past, or this person may have done something to upset you in the past, and it's got you a little bit guarded and defensive here. When I look at their actual intentions toward you, I get that Queen of Cups again. I get the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. So I got Cup, Pentacle here. A lot of emotions, a lot of physical world stuff, physical, tangible stuff. Queen of Cups, we've already seen that. It's Cancer energy. They have a lot of love and emotions for you. They're probably intending to try to pour themselves into you, or intending to get you to take the lid off of the cup here. They're waiting on the thing to be manifested that gets them to you. And I think it's probably you that is in control of whether or not they can get to you and advance with you. Page of Pentacles. This is news, messages, and communication about some physical, tangible, real-world opportunity presenting itself. A lot of times that opportunity that's being communicated is physical opportunity, in that I'm going to be in this place on this day at this time. Let's meet up and do something. This can also just represent someone who is at the beginning stages of a plan for their future, like a not fully developed plan for their future. I do see history here. Past, either a person from the past coming back, a deep emotional connection that they feel. The Lovers, there's definitely, they're feeling the power of this connection with you, and they're thinking about it a lot, and it looks like they're intending to communicate about some opportunity that looks to be intended to advance this and maybe get you to take the lid off your cup and not be quite so guarded. Next card we have is the Four of Cups. This is Cancer energy. It's an energy of not being fully happy and content with what's right here in front of me, so much so that I'm daydreaming about this other cup, this other thing that I believe will lead me in my happiness and my fulfillment. A lot of times I'll get this when there is a love offer already on the table between the two of you, and it just hasn't been accepted or rejected yet. It's just kind of been left hanging here in the air with nothing really being done about it. They're not fully happy with something, and they're expecting something to come here in terms of an opportunity for love and emotions. Right above that, I've got the Ace of Swords, which again is a decision. And right above that, the Two of Cups, a decision about this connection. This is feeling like this person has already made a love offer to you. And I think they're waiting on you to make a decision. Even when I follow it diagonally from waiting down to the Lovers, which is a choice about the connection, and maybe that hasn't been made yet. And maybe the fact that it hasn't been made is why I'm seeing the fear, worry, and anxiety here. The final card in their intentions toward you, Aries, Six of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. This is usually balance. It's generosity. It's reciprocity. Like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. You take care of me, I take care of you. It's equal give and take. It could be balancing something back out. Either way, it's tied to this idea of fear, worry, anxiety, and stress, because they're thinking about either balancing it back out or making this an equal give and take thing here. Probably worried about the decision that's going to make that happen or not. Looks like they're intending to try to move your direction, but it's looking like you are the one that has to make the decision on whether or not this does get balanced out. Let's take a look at what this person's most likely actions are going to be toward you as we move through June 2024 and beyond. What are this person's most likely actions going to be? Thank you. Okay, yeah, it's definitely you're the one in control here, and they know. Underlying their most likely actions, Three of Pentacles. Again, Capricorn energy, teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something of value, laying the foundations for the Ten of Pentacles, that combined together life. I've got two cards here about working together as equals, equal give and take. I've got the Five of Cups behind that, though. This is Scorpio energy. Fives are conflict and change. This is like an emotional loss. It's sadness and remorse about the past, regrets. The person is staring at these 3 cups that have been spilled out, all the love and emotion that's been spilled and wasted, all the time, effort, and energy that's been spilled and wasted. They have these 2 upright cups in the background behind them, this 2 of cups that's here in their feelings toward you. This typically means that they feel a connection for you, but right now they're focused on something that they don't have, something that they think is missing from their life, and they're feeling that gap in their life when they could be focused on this connection. There's like an opportunity here that's they probably feel like isn't being taken advantage of. It's also highly possible that this person, like I said, did something wrong in the past, and now they're having regrets and remorse and sadness about that. I have another 5 right behind it. Again, 5s are conflict. 5 of Swords is Aquarius energy. This is usually not a good energy here. This is, at its core, it's a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. A lot of times this will represent a betrayal happening, or a person who has this winning at all costs mentality, like I'm going to get what I want and whatever happens to you is your problem. All I'm concerned about is getting what I want. Could be that they did something stupid in the past, and that's why you're guarded, and that's why they're waiting to try to get the past back, and why it's your decision, and why they're so worried, because they could have done something bad enough that makes them worried that they're not going to get the decision that they want. Again, you're showing up guarded again, looking like they've offered you a cup of love or an apology or expressed their emotions to you and not really getting the response back that they're looking for, in trying to balance this out. What's actually out here and what they're most likely to do moving through June 2024, I get the Aquarius Major Arcana card, the Star. I get the King of Pentacles, Judgment, and the 5 of Wands. Star, this is a card of hope. It's a card of healing. Sometimes this is a card of wish fulfillment. Sometimes in a relationship, this card can indicate that this person is viewing you as potentially the one for them. I do have the Lovers out here, which can sometimes indicate they're viewing you or thinking about you in that same sense as the one for me. There's this source of someone who gives them love and emotions here. This is the hope that things can be healed between the 2 of you. This is the card that comes after the Tower in the Major Arcana cards. So you don't make it to the Star without going through a Tower moment of some kind first, where everything comes crashing down all around them. That's usually the collapse of the relationship, the collapse of a belief system, and this is hoping that we can get past all of that, hoping that we can heal all of that. Next, I have King of Pentacles here, which is either Taurus or Virgo energy. This is usually like husband type energy. And if it doesn't mean literally husband, it would mean the type of person that is most likely to try to build their life around you or try to build a life with you. There is this early stage plan for the future right above that card. So looking like they're trying to get to this like prominent role in your life in terms of building a life with you. There's the connection, the power of it, and this deep emotional connection also with ties to the past and history in it. So this is looking like somebody that you probably were with at some point that may have screwed the pooch, so to speak. Final card in their most likely actions toward you, not the final, the next card, Judgment. This is a powerful Major Arcana card about a final decision being made. I've got this choice about the love connection, the sword you make a decision with. Looks like a love offer has been made that hasn't actually been decided about yet. They're likely to make a decision on their own here if they don't hear the decision that they want. This decision in a relationship is either we're calling it dead and over with and there's no coming back, or it can be a decision to resurrect it and bring it back from the grave, bring it back to life and transform it in a way that it's not ever going to be this funky way again. But the final card in their most likely actions is the 5 of Wands. So I've seen 3 conflict cards suddenly when we get down here into what they're most likely to do. The Wand is about desires, and this is a conflict in their desires, an internal conflict here, where like a piece of them wants you back, and this other piece of them probably is fearful and worried and doesn't believe it's going to happen. They're maintaining the hope, but hope isn't always the same thing as like factual belief that this is going to come true here. So they could be playing tug of war in terms of what it is that they want here, trying to balance this out, but not hearing anything back, expecting a decision from you. And maybe they're struggling with not getting the decision. Maybe they're struggling with, if you don't decide, then I'm just going to take this as a no and I'm going to move on. But they probably don't want to do that, is what it looks like. Scoot this over a little bit. That's your person's energy here in June 2024. Let's take a look at the advice from the universe for you, Aries, what you should or should not do, how you should play this situation so things work out in the way that's best for you and your own greatest good. How should Aries navigate this situation? Please, what's the advice for Aries? Okay, we're taking extra cards here at the end. No big deal. This one came out next. Where'd you go? And then this one. God, so oops, wrong one. I flipped over there. This one came out. Yeah, and then these two at the end. I'm taking those separately from the advice. I feel like that is probably a separate message. What's underlying your advice? The Wheel of Fortune. I just did the Gemini reading, I don't know, 15 minutes before I did this one, and they also had that same card underlying their advice. Got the Gemini Major Arcana. I've got a Gemini energy out here. Not saying you're dealing with the Gemini, but it's possible that you are. Hell, you could be dealing with any sign. This is a collective reading, so I'm not tapping into your specific energy as an individual person the same way I would in a personal reading. So it's going to be almost impossible to pin down exactly who you're dealing with. But Gemini is definitely, if you are dealing with the Gemini, you may want to look at their reading. This is a change in the luck and fortune here. This is either, if things were going great, this would be that pivotal moment where it took an unexpected left turn into the phone pole. If things have been going bad, this could be the wheel spinning the other way and like trying to correct course and get us back on track. This can also just represent a repeating cycle of something happening. I do have central to their feelings about you history. So we could have history with this person and we could be about to go for a new lap with them. I do have Queen of Swords, which would explain kind of why I was feeling the guardedness of the Queen of Cups. She's been hurt, and the Queen of Swords is she who knows the truth. Like, she knows what's going on around her. She speaks the truth, and she cuts off the things and the people that aren't in her best interest anymore. And I have an energy of the Page of Swords behind that, which is sometimes communication, but this is often an energy of someone who's trying to learn something or figure something out. Trying to figure out what's the truth here. Can I trust this person? Can we actually turn this around? Or is this just going to be a repeating cycle where I have to cut them off and I don't ever know the truth, and maybe I got to snoop around and spy and keep tabs on them to find out what the truth is? Yeah, it could be why we're waiting. There's that Aries energy, 3 of Wands, which is the very first card out here in your person's feelings for you. That energy of waiting, expecting something to happen, but waiting on it to actually happen. When I look at your advice that actually came out, I get Strength, the 6 of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the 10 of Pentacles. And we got these 2 extra cards that came out at the end, the 10 of Wands and the Sun. Feeling like one of those spots where it could go a couple of different ways here. The Strength card is the Leo Major Arcana card. The Sun is the other Leo Major Arcana card. I've seen a couple Leo energies here. I've seen the 6 and the 7 of Wands in the story on the bottom of this deck. I've got the 5 of Wands out here. So I've got every Leo card other than King of Wands. That'd be the only one I'm missing here. This is a difficult situation that you've been through. this is like something that was so difficult that you had to dig down deep inside yourself and tap into all of your internal strength in order to make it through. You have the strength, you just were kind of forced to find it. The other meaning to this card is it can be a person who's trying to tame this beast inside themselves. In other words, they have this urge, this desire that's compelling them to do something, and they're struggling against that piece of themselves. They're trying to hold themselves back, not let themselves make a mistake or do something that they think might be a mistake. I do have the Six of Swords next, which is Aquarius energy of moving forward into calmer waters. It's about leaving the rough, choppy waters of the past behind you, moving away from something painful. We saw the Five of Swords right here in the background, that betrayal, that mentally, psychologically painful situation or event. This is about moving away from that pain, leaving it in the past where it belongs, and moving forward toward what you want, toward having more clarity. There's an implied choice that goes with this card. The painful thing has already happened to you at this stage. I see that here with the Strength card. It probably took a lot to make it through. That's probably why you're showing up as guarded when I'm looking at your person's energy. I don't know if they are the one to hurt you, or if someone from your past has hurt you and it's just left you guarded. The message of this card is you can't change the painful thing that happened because it's already over with. But what you do have control over is the future. This is about, do I carry the burden that this painful thing caused me into my future so it continues to weigh me down? I'm getting ahead of myself, but one of those two cards that jumped out is the heavy burden that's being carried. It's sitting in front of the happiest card in the deck. Happiness, joy, bliss, harmony. You can't really get a better card than the Sun in a relationship reading. But there is some heavy burden that's weighing you down and holding you back from happiness. The choice here is, do I let the burden come forward into my future with me so it continues to weigh me down and stop me from getting what I want? Or do I carry the lessons that painful thing taught me forward with me so that something like that never happens again? Next, I have the Page of Pentacles, which is out here in your person's energy, in their intentions toward you. The communications about physical opportunity presenting itself, the early stage plan for the future. I got you moving away from the past and into the future. An early stage plan for the future. They're probably communicating with you. And then I've got the Lovers, which is out here in your person's energy, directly tied to that Page of Pentacles, sitting right above it. Again, Gemini Major Arcana card. Powerful love connection here, but it is a choice about the connection, or a choice between more than one lover. It's feeling like a choice about the connection. I cannot tell, and because it's a collective reading, it might be the case that it's one way for you and the opposite way for the very next Aries that shows up to watch this after you. But I can't tell if this is a choice between lovers in the sense of like this person and some previous person is the one that hurt you, and this person's trying to get with you and you're still guarded because of what the other person did. It could be that. It could even be that this person has regrets because they betrayed you at some point in the past, and they brought a new cup in, probably someone that they already knew first, and got severed because they had this other connection. That could be the thing that you're guarded about. This Six of Pentacles can represent the merchant giving to two, but it can also represent someone trying to balance something out. So I can't tell if a previous person hurt you and that's what you had a difficult time with, and that's what this burden that's holding you back from happiness is about, or if this person hurt you. Either way, there's that Lover's card, the decision about this connection, possibly a decision about another connection. Could be that the way they're communicating with you about their plan for the future could be triggering some stuff from a previous connection. But the final card that came out here in your advice, Aries, is the Ten of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy, maximum stability, abundance, and prosperity. This is most people's goal in the physical reality. It's the combining together of two people or two families and all the assets and resources to build this stable, abundant, prosperous home life. This is like building a life together. I get this card for people when they're living together or they're married. I do have King of Pentacles out here. One of the two people that works together as equals to build this. I've seen the Three of Pentacles more than once out here. Teamwork, collaboration, working together to lay the foundations for this Ten of Pentacles. The one I'm missing is the Queen of Pentacles. And what I'm getting instead is the Queen of Cups. And at one point, the Queen of Swords was right here under this Wheel of Fortune. So if you are married, it's like you're not present here and they are trying to heal this idea of being husband. Again, can't tell if this is talking about they were with you before and they hurt you and probably betrayed you, and this is like a question of whether or not you can leave that in the past and continue to move forward with them. I'm getting the hint though. It's like it's really feeling like someone else has hurt you, and you do have like an opportunity presenting itself for happiness and combining together and actually having a powerful connection with this person. But it's almost like you're struggling here because you went through a difficult spot at some point and you don't want a repeat of that because it was so hard to make it through that. This really feels like the most important card here. This decision you have about, do I carry a burden forward with me or do I carry a lesson forward with me? And I think that's entirely dependent on if this is the person that hurt you or if it was someone else that hurt you, and that's kind of blocking this person. If the burden of the pain came from a different person, it's looking like that pain, that burden is blocking happiness with this person. If it's this person that hurt you, this looks like a question about whether or not I can trust them and whether or not carrying them forward is going to burden me and prevent my happiness. So I think that's the choice that you have to make here about this connection. It depends entirely on, like, how I would advise on this depends entirely on if this is the person that hurt you or someone else. If it's them that hurt you, they look like they're remorseful about it. And they look incredibly much like they're trying to heal it and put it back together, but waiting on your decision. If it was someone else, I don't know that I could convict this person for pain that someone else caused me. So you'll have to take that however it resonates for you and act accordingly. Now, if you still have questions about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Aries love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.